from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio. NETT Radio.
Remember me husband name, could not remember
your day right.
Well, if you haven't felt it as yet, trust me, you're going to feel it soon enough. Energy to get you going, energy to get your day right. It's all here on your NETT Radio, the heartbeat of the Caribbean. Yes, we take you above and beyond. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to Tobago. Neighbors of the Caribbean, how are you doing? Everybody all right? Everybody good? Nice. To our friends and our family who are streaming all around the globe in your different time slots and different time zones, good day to you. And of course, thank you so much. Gotta say much thanks to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day, and everything that we do, dear God, everything, let it be a blessing on to you. So Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in your company. Happy that you are here for another day as we welcome everybody to your Get Up and Go. This is The Breakfast Show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard Raghubar Singh. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. It's a beautiful Thursday morning in Trinidad and Tobago, as I'm sure it is in other parts of the globe. And we are here. We're happy to be in the land of the living, the land of confusion, the land of chaos, the land of tickets, the land of fines, the land of police, the land of licensing officers, the land of traffic warden, the land of lawlessness, the land of what else it could be known as?
Well, that the land of Carnival up there. The
Well,
land
that
of,
too.
of
The
love.
land of iron making people basari. I never even knew that. Alice 9 said so.
Yeah.
Oh, dear Lord, never done
And, and in their, wherever they are listening in their space, they have their own stuff that have them going basari to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine, because as I sent
It's all over. It's all over.
Charmaine last night and my peeps out in New York, that there's a new strain of virus spreading going around New York. I don't know if you all know about it. It's called let me get the name for you. It's called the influenza A H3N2 virus. And it's been affecting like 71 million people already. I think that's the statistics in New York.
71 million.
Yeah, but how much people in New York? 300.
Yeah.
I may have my figures wrong. The United States is what, 300 million people?
But how bad is it? Is it something that you get and you get like slight fever, headache, or is it something that really knocking you out and putting you at
Well,
death?
I don't know. I guess it's the same symptoms of all the other flus with coughing and so on. You know what I mean? And of course, New York got a lot of snow this year. You know what I mean? End of last year and this year, they got a lot of snow. So but I think the days are warming up a bit. Charmaine did say a lot of people are wearing masks. So let's hope it's not something that because it's going to end up in Trinidad and Tobago for Carnival, right?
Of course.
Right. So just know that.
Because he done here just lying low.
It probably is.
Waiting on the merry monarch to raise his head.
So
because once Carnival come, and I said there's always some major
thing that is affecting us. Everybody seems to have some strain of flu.
They always get a flu coming into Trinidad and Tobago for
And,
carnival.
and you know what is interesting about it? Everyone is real bad, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is worse than the last one. That's how people
I think anything.
What
I
is
think
worse?
anything.
Something else.
Yeah. Nothing could be worse than COVID because, I mean, people still, I still wonder sometimes what the hell caused COVID and why did it take so many lives? Nobody has really explained COVID yet,
Go back to the lab in China.
But that's what they're saying. They say all manner of things where it come from, but, nobody has said, yes, this is what happened to you people, that millions of people all over the world, because no one was spared, no place was spared, died of a virus that was in the air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is the one time I was really agreeing with Donald Trump, where that was concerned. And I believe if he had his way at that point, then we'd have found out where it was coming from, because he was adamant that
You think he was adamant he was adamant in terms of how it came and who produced it and what. Yeah. I'm not too sure I could believe anything that man say,
Well, maybe not, but at some point where that was concerned, I said, where that was concerned, I mean, he may not be 100%, but but I believe there might be a 1 or 2% with somebody thinks that.
Well, why he pursued now instead of pursuing a land and oil and thing? Why he pursue the real story behind COVID? Because millions of Americans lost their lives. Not millions, but plenty. And let me start stop saying figures because somebody go just come down on me for that. But thousands of Americans, I'll say thousands, lost their lives.
Yeah, but maybe then, as I said, everything is agendas at the point in time. Look at how much things we just have right here in our little space with people when they out of power and when they get into power, just forget half of the thing. And that's happened on both sides of the fence, eh?
Oh, God.
Because talk thing, wait for call a hat, that, and
everybody was a big thief and a corrupt one until they come out of power.
Yes. And then they go quietly into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
They go quietly into the sunset after that, and I said that's for somebody else to deal with now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but after we get into the good news, I'll read a missive from the Honorable Prime Minister, who's still not addressing anybody directly, but she just sending out these tweets and whatnot. I don't know what style of governance is that, but I'll read it because it's exactly what we predicted. It is exactly what we predicted would happen. When you give power to the state like that, it is going to be abused. You cannot, and regardless of what part of the world, not hear me TTPS now, regardless of what part of the world there exists people with that kind of power, police officers in particular, they abuse it. I don't know what it has happened to them when they get that little go ahead to just take advantage of people. And that is what they're doing in Trinidad and Tobago once again. Taking advantage of people, abusing their power with ridiculous tickets and fines and whatnot. That is what they're doing. You understand? And it's spread across the board now because the licensing officers, of course, join them. The traffic wardens, of course, join them because it ain't nobody who's feel more powerful on a roadway now than a traffic warden. If you see them in St. James, they walk with their chest high. They make life.
But what makes them just suddenly do that? And that is why sometimes I take some of these things with the Ponga salt, because they were just there, and now they are just everywhere. Some kind of mandate had to go on.
Well, the state gave them a mandate.
But that's what I'm saying. So the state, somebody had to shoot the dogs.
Well, I don't want to call them dogs, but at the same time,
I just say that
I know what you mean.
I ain't saying nobody's no dog, eh? Right?
I know what you mean.
misinterpret things. No one say that. I say the police is dog. I like Ansel Douglas. Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? That's the tune to play.
Right.
That's the calypso to play.
Yes. But because they would not just get them there soon. And because this reach, all of a sudden, they're going after the coconut man with the 20 violations.
Yeah.
or the scrap iron man that you see on the highway that they just suddenly say, somebody say, see this, we go in and do this is the mandate, let us get busy.
And it is clear. I mean, Minister Zakuri yesterday said it is not what a revenue thing. It is about lawless people. No, Minister Zakuri, where you come from? You trying to tell me in your entire life you never had a vehicle with a blown bulb or a chip on the windscreen or some bubble on the tint? Or it is bordering on the ridiculous what they're doing. And it is indicative you know how indicative it is? By the release of the Prime Minister in terms of what they have now decided to give people an opportunity to fix. Didn't think about that before? Come on. Why couldn't you think about that before? You know what I mean? We talk about it from day one. People have been talking about it on other radio stations where people fall asleep. But we talk about it. You understand? And now you're trying to roll back that after the horse done bolt and people facing all kind of ridiculous tickets. Yesterday, a man shared a video of him getting a ticket for parking up in some thing with a policewoman and a licensing officer. Two women
with the truck.
Yeah, I mean, and if you see the comments about that particular police woman after, because apparently she's known. You understand? But you remember when the mayor started back wrecking what we tell him? How it's going to get out of hand?
Yeah.
You understand? Those are things, the people who get those mandates, for want of a better word, who wear those uniforms, they can't help it. They can't help it. That's
So
how they train.
the uniform and the power does something to them. The psychological.
So Charles, how much time I've said that as soon as you enter that barracks and walk back out, that is it. You could alter somebody's life in an instant, and the among them have altered lives. You understand? You can alter someone's life in an instant. And that's what they've been doing. That's what they trained to do.
Mm.
I mean, look at that other video. I mean, and as people, we it's an international thing, eh? Look at that video with that ice raid with that white woman. That is not going to end nice for them, you know? Because, well, we can't play it because Lord knows it have real loss.
Yeah, that's
real loss.
I can't believe all that.
Yeah, the person the person was filming it real cuss. You understand? But look at that incident, and then the state, the American government, trying to justify it by saying she tried to run over the officers, even though the video shows completely something else. You know, it's like, say this, we gotta go with this now, you know. This ain't looking good. It's a white woman we killed. You understand? We had to say she was fleeing and she tried to run over people. You understand? And that's the narrative they're going with. It's not the same narrative that we get here all the time.
Okay.
They shoot us.
Like that. So that was their narrative that they put out. I thought it was people coming up with that, you know.
No. Did I share that in the group chat also? What the president himself said. He himself said so. You understand? I think I'm not sure if I shared. Let me see if I could find it. I shared so much things this morning.
All right, well, let's go for our good news and then we'll come back and we'll take some of those issues there, right?
Sure.
It makes me cry each time I talk about it. A friend of mine, she told me that the week before, she had a really, really hard week. And I said, why didn't you call me? She says, I did, I reached out. So of course I pull out my phone and I scroll up and I look for her texts, and sure enough it says, hey, what are you doing? Want to come over? I'm like, you mean these texts? The one that sound like every other text you've ever sent me ever? I'm like, how do I know that that's a cry for help? She had read an article that all human beings need is 8 minutes of time from another friend to feel not alone in a moment of stress and a moment of need. And so she and I came up with a code word that the next time one of us really needs the other person, our code would be, do you have 8 minutes? Anyone can step out of a meeting for 8 minutes. You won't solve your friend's problems. It only takes 8 minutes for them to feel like they're dealing with whatever they're dealing, not alone. And this is the power of friendship.
All right.
Yeah, that was our good news today. Good to see Richard Ragobar Singh, who has not joined us as yet. We're looking out for him still.
Yeah. But yeah, the noisy background.
Yeah, but that was a very important. It was short, but sometimes they say short and sweet. That was a very important one because, people don't take time out for people anymore. People are so consumed about their own things that things are happening right around you. People are right around you going through real difficulty, but nobody takes that time to reach out to say, you're okay. Are you sure? You want to chat? You want to talk? Leave you.
Yeah.
Them busy with their own thing.
Yeah.
And there no time for you.
Sadly, that's been my portion too. People have just left me. And
it happens right in sometimes in this situation with the girl was like a friend you're reaching out to, but sometimes right around you, when little bad was talking about a house or being a home, a chair is just a chair. You're just there, but you're not really in the moment.
Yeah.
So sometimes you could be in a crowd and be by yourself,
Yeah. But that, as you raise that goes to another story that I have to read a part of this morning. With the Waterloo Secondary School. I don't know if you heard about that incident. That it apparently came from a former student who may have been a victim of bullying, they're saying. He sent a message to the school that there'll be bloodshed in the school on, I think he gave a date, February something, he gave a date, and it's being investigated right now by the Ministry of Education. And well, the missive has a note. They have a name, the name of the person. Well, we don't know if that's the correct name. Who sent this to Waterloo Secondary School? It's in the news today. It's in the newspapers today. It may have made news last night. But that's clearly a cry for help too from someone who is now threatening the lives of the entire population of the school. You understand?
So what you get from that person is a victim of the bullying.
That's what they are alleging. That the person may have been a victim of bullying in the school.
Yeah.
And is now threatening the entire school. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that's because most things like that in most schools, they don't really effectively deal with it. I know people who are going through some situations. I know somebody with that school right in the back by Unarima, the primary school, having some issues with, and this child is like 7 or 8 or in that range, and constantly being harassed by a couple of children in the school, and the person has been back and forth. Schools talking, they don't do this, don't go to the police, don't go to the ministry, we are treated, but the child is still under a lot of pressure. And even and the other part about it too is that sometimes they engage the parents and guardians, and they don't seem to really be able to be effectively be able to deal with their 7 and 8-year-old children.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing something, and your parents would have said to you, "Well, let's see what you do there. Don't make me come in school." You know, you done that.
Yeah,
But
that is long time parenting.
yeah, but
They have
but
parenting like that.
today,
You don't have much parenting like that. Again.
oh my gosh, I don't know why.
Anyway, Richard has joined us. Happy birthday, Ali Muhammad. Michaela Pandey is celebrating her birthday today. And a good friend of mine, Ronald Boynes, he is also celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday to you all who are celebrating birthdays. All right. We want to greet the people in the chat. But as I said, there are two stories that I shared in the chat this morning, guys. The one where the ICE agent killed a 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, and she is being blamed. Donald Trump is now telling supporters that an ICE agent almost died, that Renee Nicole Good viciously ran over him. That is hard to believe he is alive, and lucky to be alive. Even as the clips show the car turning and moving past, not over the agents, as well as clearly seeing the agent who shot her walking away just fine. So you see, it started from the top.
Yeah.
Trying to paint the woman as the aggressor in this incident. And she's now dead, so she can't defend herself. All right? So let's
more
you're coming across garbled.
Yeah.
Are you there? Your internet. Go and pay your bill now.
Who's it? The woman with the hat. There's a woman with a hat who was commenting on it, but I didn't see the response of President Trump. But you know what is incredulous about that? I said it, this period in time is going to be studied in history books. You know, we're living through really strange times. Even in Trinidad and Tobago, it's going to be studied in history books in 100, 200 years from now. And the planet, I'm seeing where the 8 billion people on the planet, whoever have access to cell phones, and there's a big chunk of us, I've seen that video. We see what the video played out in front of our eyes, and you have people who are telling us, no, what you're seeing is not true. This is what it is.
Yes.
It is an incredulous time. You know, if you didn't have any video of the incident, you would have, countervailing reports and what actually happened and blah blah blah, and people be saying, well, what's the truth, boy? You see the video, you are actually seeing what happened. There were multiple witnesses because people were there filming. That is incredulous. I remember oh God, people who read George Orwell's 1984, boy, and there was a term for that, what the state tells you to believe and what you must believe. I forget what the name is. I'm forgetting the word that was used. Was it in 1984? I think it was in 1984. And but it just reminds me of that. It's like, I saw the press conference with the girl with the hat, with the kind of Texan hat. I think you ever see the face.
Homeland Security Secretary Christy Noem.
She gave a press conference and said it was an act of domestic terrorism.
Yep.
That's what she said it was.
Yes, claiming she tried to run over officers and that the shooting was self-defense without.
Yeah, and I'm like, when I saw that press conference, I said, "What is she talking about? Is there something else that happened?" That's where I went,
Yeah,
I could not believe it was the same thing that I saw that she was talking about. I said, some other thing happened.
Yeah. Well, the mayor of Minneapolis, he didn't mince words. Jacob Frey. He has blasted federal officers telling ICE to get what Richard says a lot.
No, Wendell, don't pretend you don't say it, Wendell. Come on, the man. Be honest for 2026, the man. Stop hiding and pretending.
You want me to say it on radio?
No.
Say whatever you feel to say. Sir Charles could handle it.
He said the mayor of Minneapolis people, Mayor Jacob Frey, told ICE to get the KCUF. He said, get the KCUF out of Minneapolis.
It's kind of hard for Wendell to actually say that too. We can remember Wendell don't curse.
It is hard. I've used that word, but in very delicate.
Under different circumstances.
Under completely different circumstances.
People like me going for a quick break and come back. Or let's stay right where you are.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Looking for pet supplies that wouldn't bite? Visit Bow Wow Supply Limited, your friendly family-owned pet store at the corner of Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trent City.
We offer fabulous prices,
great service, and a wide range of foods, treats, toys, grooming products, and accessories. Everything your pet needs in one place. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming today, Bow Wow Supply Limited, Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trent City. Your pet's friendly place. Call us at 640-7184.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Welcome back, people.
Let me just quickly greet people in the chat and go
I'm
straight
not going to do that.
news
We're
headlines,
running
right?
behind time.
Yeah. We just calling names this morning to just say hello and good morning, right? So Margaret Thomas, Ava Smith, Suzanne Jessup, Suzanne Suzette and Miss Gemma, Eunice Dublin, Odell Guy, Brennan Smith, Wendy Ann and Frank James, Apollinaus, Manuela Peters, Boybe Dacey, Kenny in Harlem, Trini in Nashville, Tennessee. Happy birthday to his twin Carla. All right, so happy birthday, Carla, coming from your brother. He's Kurt, I think, if I remember carefully the names back then. I think it's Kurt from Nashville. Marlon Motley, Nicola McNichols, Katian Charles, and Arlene out there in Bronxville, Texas. Debbie Modest, Rena Boodoo Jennings, Slick Money Grip, Valerie Mendoza, Robert Taylor, Deborah Noel Surrett, Diane, Elizabeth, who is Suzette Jessup, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona, Joyce Phillip, Diana Hamill, Michael Cadet, Julia Samantha, Alistair Hart, Helen Prescott, Valerie Mendoza, Trini Merle Kitchen in Oshawa, Ontario, saying she loves us guys. Carol Guevara, Brenda Isaac from Santa Cruz, Alice, okay, what is that? All right, yes. David McCarthy, Merle McComey, Prabha Ramdial, Dean Allen, Ron DeSantis Jr., Dill. Who is that now? That's a new name. Somebody probably changed theirs. Dave Gosine, Ambrose Blah in New York, Chris Tusa out there in Washington, D.C., asking if we have in Carnival. I'm sure we are. Bernadette.
So far.
Yeah, Bernadette and Alicia Yates and Mr. Flavor TT. All right, that's all our greetings on the chat this morning.
All right, so let me run through the WhatsApp very quickly. Good morning to Pauline. Good morning to Patrick Billy. Good morning, Mr. Billy. Ron DeSantis is here also. Archbishop Ashton Clark. Good morning, Colin and Kelly in Caranage. Kent in Laventel. Slick Money Grip. Charmaine in New York. Peter Wilson. Good morning, Sankofa. Mr. Beeps, Marval, Joanne, Mount Hope, Captain Ron. Good day to you. And Shuma Paul, good day to you. And let me also say good morning to Terry Ann Peters. Good day to all the people. And thank you very much for being here on the Breakfast Show on NETT Radio.
Right. Today, of course, is Thursday, January 8th. 8th? Yes, 8th.
Yeah.
2026. PM proposes grace period to fix defects. What did we say? Rush by drivers, flawed system blamed for delays. And some other stories. Well, the main stories are fix it or face the law, AMLA tells citizens. And you know, some of those days that they give to fix it will also become a contentious issue. Trust me on that. 20-year-old gunned down in midnight attack. Licensing office closes early. Chaos ensues. Threat of bloodshed at Waterloo Secondary School. And you need to read that story. Man suspected in strangulation, death of firefighter arrested. Those are trending stories in today's Express. All right.
All right. So let me do the Guardian. And all right. So 1,700 tickets in 6 days. Minister says increase in fines due to alarming incidents of lawlessness on the roads. And PM Parliament to weigh 7-day ease for motorists to fix defects. More frustration for motorists as licensing office. Folly, support for U.S. radar conditional. And
Pennsylvania.
Huh?
I thought he had already said he's going to move it.
He said he was going to move it?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I don't know what it is about politicians when they're seeking re-election. They say the silliest and most hyperbolic things. You know, stay in control of your brain and stay in control of your tongue. Why would you say, you know, if I have to go on dismantle it myself, and I'm like, what? What?
You're mad.
I'm saying, you know, why do politicians engage in such silliness? But they think that the voters are so stupid.
Well, maybe they do.
I think politicians think we're stupid.
Probably that's because of what we show them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do
that. It has nothing to do with us.
Richard, we listen to the rubbish and go and vote for them. Some of us do that.
Yeah, we do that. Anyhow, moving along with the Guardian. PDVSA, how do they say that? Pennsylvania or something like that? In talks with US for sale of its oil. More technology coming to catch errant drivers. Transport Minister, fixed penalty tickets cannot be paid in installments. What's that trailer? Nice. So you expect that man to pay $19,000 just so much?
Yeah. Yes.
Anyhow, I see somebody put up a sign with somebody having some loan sale or something like that. So
I thought that was a parody.
And finally, cops urge Fed goers don't overdrink for carnival.
That should be a warning right through.
Yeah. All right, go ahead with the news they went down.
All right. After Maduro extracted, Delcy upgraded in Caracas. Uncertain times for TT Energy. That's a story in today's Newsday. Other stories that are trending, that old news, they are real ads. Very stories. Many stories. What's going on with the news online today? Only what the hell is this? Anyway, let me try to find some stories from you. Texaco must go to silence on Venezuela when morality trumps international law. That's an opinion. And disgraceful invasion. That's another opinion. I don't know where the stories for the news they actually go. You understand? But I guess it's similar stories to all the other newspapers. I just Carney Licensing Division Office overwhelmed. 2 murders in 2 days in Diego Martin. High Court settles Erin land battle. Thieves use grinder to steal car in McCoy. I don't know if you all saw that video, but there was a video of 3 fellas pulled up in I think it looked like a white Tida by a property in McCoy. And they used a grinder, which means they knew what kind of lock the person had, because they spent an inordinately long time grinding off that lock.
They take more time to grind off the lock than to take the car.
Huh?
They take more time to grind off the lock than to take
the car. Exactly. So, but they clearly knew the type of lock the person had, because they took a while to grind that lock off. And eventually they just drove out a car out the yard that they started in. So it almost looked like they had a key. I'm sure you saw that video. You know?
I find that something that's not adding up. And like nobody lives there, because with that grinder will make real noise. Huh?
Yeah, you hear
it
on the video.
Yeah.
On the CCTV footage picked up the noise of the grinder.
Yeah. So I don't know.
So those are trending stories in all your 3 newspapers today. All right. Of course, the main story is that of the one that we've been following over the last few days in terms of the traffic laws. And this is a statement by the Honorable Prime Minister, right? She says, over the last few days, my statement that the country is a lawless dump has been absolutely confirmed by the high number of traffic infractions and deliberately lawless drivers being fined. The lawlessness was compounded by the blatant dishonesty on show from many of those ticketed who pretended to have been caught by surprise by the defects in their vehicles or expired documentation. I want to be clear, their dishonesty and pretense fools no one. The vast majority of citizens who were ticketed knew about their vehicle defects and expired documentation well in advance of being ticketed, and therefore fully deserve their fines for their lawless behavior. This is Mommy Dearest. The entitlement, indiscipline, and misdirected priorities of some lawless citizens who inconvenience and endanger law-abiding citizens will not be tolerated anymore. No discipline will be met with no tolerance. No one will sway me from cleaning up this lawless dump to benefit citizens who try to live decent law-abiding lives. Any citizen is free to mash up the place and misbehave if they want to, but I guarantee that I will continue to meet lawlessness with swift and brutal retribution that I promise. Yesterday, Ministers Eli Zakur and Roger Alexander provided information to me that a small minority of traffic wardens, licensing officers, and TTPS officers have been abusing the ticket system and terrorizing law-abiding citizens. Here we go. I cannot let this wicked behavior continue and must now move to provide protection to law-abiding citizens from delinquent drivers as well as misbehaving law enforcement officers. When I was sworn in as your Prime Minister, I said I will never be detached from your feelings and aspirations. I will never do my own thing while the country cries out for their needs. I will always be listening. I will be following you. You will be my priority. You must always know that you have leaders who cares and understand your problem. Therefore, in the coming weeks, the government will go to Parliament to propose to implement the following reforms to make it mandatory for drivers to be given time to repair defects before fines are enforced. So the offences listed in the 9 schedule and time frame to fix are as follows. Number 35, no identification lights for the illumination of identification marks on vehicles at night. 3 days. You have 3 days to fix it, right? Number of passengers to be carried, not printed on the right front door of taxi, which Mr. Patrick raised. 3 days. No tier and MGW painted on vehicles, 3 days. Vehicle with defective fittings, licensing authority has confirmed that several defects such as damaged windscreens, etc. are covered under this violation. They have 7 days now to fix it. Vehicle without silencers or fitted with cutouts, 3 days. Unauthorized lights to front or rear of vehicles, 3 days. Unauthorized letters and figures on vehicles, 3 days. Vehicles without 2 headlamps, 3 days. Vehicles without park lights, 3 days. Vehicles without tail lights, 3 days. They couldn't cover all of that under one thing, right? No left-hand drive notice affixed to appropriate vehicle, 3 days. Vehicles without horn, 3 days. You have vehicles without horn. Permitting excess sparks, smoke, or visible vapor from vehicles, 7 days. Vehicles without reflecting mirror, 3 days. Use of noisy vehicle, 7 days. Who determines those are noisy vehicle? Use of vehicle with no windshield wiper, 3 days. Public service vehicle without spare tire, 3 days. Placement of advertisement on side of window, 3 days. She said there will be absolutely no reduction in traffic fines and strict enforcement will continue until these reforms are made. The law will be applied equally across the country. It does not matter if you are UNC, PNM, or any other grouping. It does not matter if you are rich or poor, if you're from Debe or Digo Martin. If you break the traffic laws, anybody gets it.
Anybody gets it. That's a Western statement.
So, effectively, people, in my opinion, this is my opinion, this has effectively brought that whole ticketing thing to an end. Because if almost all the things now, except for driving without a license or driving permit or driving without insurance, all these other things are the irritants that we've been speaking about, right? That people getting ticketed for. You basically stopping people now to tell them, hey, you have 3 days to fix it. What is the follow-up for it, people? How are they going to police that? We create a problem, and now we're creating an even bigger one. You understand?
I disagree. I think you're jumping the gun in the sense that I assume the legislation will cover how that would work, because they could issue a ticket, but the ticket is conditional. And you have to present it at wherever, I guess, whatever police station or at a licensing office to say, look, I have fixed XYZ, and it then comes out the system. So it's going to have some sort of bureaucracy, I'm assuming, to how it's done.
I'm not finished though. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, that is just like what the Maxi taxi was asking for, when. Remember the Maxi taxi guy that we spoke with was saying they need to have a fixed ticket. So it gives you a certain time. So now that
you're still getting a ticket, I'm assuming that you might still get a ticket, but the ticket says you have 3 days.
Yeah.
And you have to present at a licensing office showing that it's repaired and they take it off the system.
Forgive me.
Or you get something then that says,
Richard, forgive me if I'm cynical or even skeptical about this, but in Trinidad and Tobago, I don't see that working. Honestly, I don't.
No, I can see that happening.
You can help you do that.
I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It'll have to have some logical way to do it, but the issue, if you go through that, all of this is a little tiresome to me, quite frankly, because I am tired of politicians speaking to us like children. Dr. Rowley used to do it, and now we have another prime minister that feels we are children to speak to and threaten.
You just talk to Sir Charles and I like be children sometimes.
I never say he's not a politician himself,
and bully and threaten and bully us as if we are children.
Oh.
And how many times and because you've been criticized, it's a kind of infantile reasoning because people have criticized you for calling the country a lawless dump. You double down on it. That's stubborn and silly. But because people have infractions with their cars, because your light bulb has blown in terms of whatever, and you have not yet fixed it, because money is an issue, does not make you lawless.
Mm-hmm.
In the struggle of life, people can't always fix the windscreen that maybe needs to be replaced because it have a little thing in the corner that they can't fix with the liquid glass or however they fix it with.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have the money to pay the $800 to fix it. Does not make you lawless. So using that broad term of lawless to double down, so you can call the Trinidad and Tobago the land that we are supposed to be proud of because we are the ones who live here, calling it a lawless dump and doubling down on it does not somehow magically go away or make it better. You're just doubling down on an unfortunate name for which you have been criticized, and you're just being stubborn about saying, sure, look at all of these tickets that are given out. There is no correlation between tickets given out, 1,700 tickets being given out in 6 days, to prove that Trinidad and Tobago is lawless. Because you didn't fix a light does not make you lawless.
Richard, we made a grand thing about giving a police officer an award for giving out 1,400 tickets in a month or some kind of thing. So didn't we do that here in Trinidad and Tobago? The Minister of Homeland Security himself presented that police officer with some sort of token, some kind of award.
He got some award for that.
Richard, I'm sorry, but we talked about this. We talked about this with Reckon for years. It is going to get abusive and out of hand. We spoke about this, Richard. We warned the Mayor of Port of Spain. He is going to end up getting the ET end of the stick, right? And so said, so done on more than one occasion. Richard, this is the same thing happening all over again. We go and we make these laws, or we try to implement these things that gives the state machinery, in particular the TTPS, a chance to abuse people. And now we're trying to pull it back and saying we're giving them 3 days and 7 days or whatever. Richard, that is how realistic is that? You can't. Sometimes you have to wait. I have to wait months for a part for my vehicle one time, because it had to be brought.
Well, Wendell, no, you're conflating certain things. The issue of the time to fix the things, it's really because of the pushback of citizens.
I know that.
So it's really the citizens saying, you're not even allowing us a little time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't want to criticize it unless I see what the law is.
Okay.
But the point is that it's a remedy. So she goes through this whole spiel of saying basically y'all are lawless because y'all live in a lawless dump and only have the lawless dump, and it's plenty of all that make it lawless. But here what? There was a minority. If you listen to language is important.
Mm-hmm.
There's a use of calling the majority of all of the people who got tickets lawless. Mm-hmm. So y'all are a lawless bunch. Once you got a ticket, you were lawless.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which feeds into the narrative of some people who listen and watch this program, because some people are perfect. And then in an attempt to backlash, if the cap fits, wear it proudly.
Wow.
And then in that same spiel, you focus on the very small minority of officers who are abusing the system.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few. There were a lot of lawless people, but there were just a few people who were abusing the system, and those officers who abused it have caused me to basically rethink and see, because they've been wicked, the few of them, the few were wicked, I've decided to give them 3 days.
Yes.
Language always shows intent, you know.
Don't be lawless. Let's take a couple calls. We put up your numbers for a little while now, and people are calling. So let's see if we can take a couple calls before we get to 7 o'clock on the poll.
No, we do the poll before 7 or after 7.
What is that?
So we're still doing the poll during the news time, right?
Yeah. We're doing the poll. We're gonna put out the poll in a little bit. The only thing I have to shift around and put in the next hour is the Did You Know segment.
All right, good.
All right. So, but we taking the calls now. So, caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Richard,
I don't think you could see that ball anymore. I think it's way past 6. When you're young, you might have something called lost ball. Lost
ball when you match it.
Lost ball. You hit the nail, not just on the head, Richard. You hit it and it went straight through. Well said, Richard. Not only that, I want to add to what you're saying there. Pamela Prasad-Bissessar, in her rant as opposition leader, knew that they were advantageous police officers. She made the mistake. The video is there. But she knew when she was saying that they were, and I want to hit the nail further on the head, they were lawless police officers that were taking advantage of the system. So when you got into office, you didn't know to put stop measures in place. You run in this country by then, by trial and error. You put laws in place for people to take advantage of it. And then in a few weeks, would put stop measures in place so police can. I have said it on this program time and time again, and I'm being validated as we go along. You need to keep police on a short leash. You need to give them strict guidelines on what they can and cannot do. And failure to do that, police will always abuse the system and abuse the population. I have said that on this program many a time when they could testify to that.
That's true, but everybody should be able to testify.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Nikan.
I'm seeing a message here from someone. It's in Chinese writing. They basically saying the exact same thing Richard just said. Thank you for that message, whomever that is, from China. You're seeing it on the chat? This is the last message that came in at 6:56. It's entirely in Chinese, right?
You're reading Chinese?
Yeah. That's exactly what the person just said.
Okay. Good morning, Kuala, Ms. Sampson.
Good morning, Charles, Richard, and Wendell.
Morning, Ms.
Who
Sampson.
send the people at home? People didn't have, some people don't have money to pay for those tickets. How much thousands of people on the breadline? About 50 plus. Take it easy. What is the problem? And I would always say, if she want to make money, put in the littering act. The place nasty. She would make $1 billion. Put in the littering act. Good grief. I'm fed up with this place. I wish I could move my house.
But there is a littering act. You mean enforce it?
I think she mean enforce it, yeah. I think she mean enforce it.
When they start to enforce that, you'll hear another story going down the road.
No. You see that one though? I have to say I will support any government that clamp down on the littering and nastiness of people, citizens in this place. Because I have said it many times. We are nasty. That one is an easy fix.
Oh, so we nasty, but we ain't lawless.
No, well, it's a form of lawlessness, but what I'm saying, we're not a lawless dump. I wouldn't agree with that.
Oh.
So they made I know where the Prime Minister going, and I won't totally come down on her for saying
she went there already. She went.
I know. That's why I say I didn't come down on her too hard for saying that, because when you think about how we nasty this place, you go down that road now saying we are lawless dump now. Yeah.
Call her very quickly. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning, guys. Happy New Year to Charles and Wendell and Richard. Yeah, let's see also this KB promotion again. The thing about it, they look at us as we are really children. I mean, there are people that sometimes do some wrong things, as Richard was rightly saying. Sometimes they really don't have the cash, sometimes they do something. It's not that they're lawless. I think that we are not really lawless people in the sense of there are people naturally, but again, there are other people that don't have their cash to really do something at the time. So sometimes you go, like you have a car and one of your bulbs. So you say, no, you don't have the bulb blow. Because you only get up in the morning and check nothing. You have to go and do something. These things happen, and then that end up in a roadblock. So I think sometimes, the politicians we inherit, they sometimes think us like we supposed to know that. What about when they make a mistake? I don't think we look at that. When they make the mistakes, because they make the mistakes and they try to change it in a way that is the right thing. Or they will admit that they make a mistake. So it got both ways. So for us, have a blessed day. That's my contribution on this program.
Thanks, man. If they have a driver who owns a vehicle on planet Earth, didn't have some issue with his vehicle, his or her vehicle at some point in time that they were not aware of. I don't know that there's anybody who exists on planet Earth like that. You understand? But we bring these things and we bring trouble on our own selves sometimes, unnecessary trouble, you know. And as I said, the Prime Minister is going to try to backtrack on things, and citizens go say, oh, we love the Prime Minister. Look at how she's thinking more. That is exactly what's going to happen. You know. They're going to make this a PR stunt. And guess what? The minority of police officers who they're saying get out of hand, go ahead and take the blame for this. Or you abuse it. Because that's, guess what? Or you're custom abusing it.
So tell people what the poll is, and then we're going for the news.
All right. Do you expect the system to work for the fix-it tickets? Now, we don't know what exactly they're going to be putting in place. So I would probably go with the second question and give you a first, but that's all right. We done for this one. Do you expect the system to work for the fix-it tickets? That's what we're asking, right? Yes or no? Do you expect it to work? Yes or no?
Good. Stay with us.
Legal luminary.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now for Thursday, January 8th on Net Radio and Gael TV. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us. Transport Minister Eli Zakor is defending the government's crackdown on road traffic violations, saying the aim is not to raise revenue, but to restore order and save lives. Speaking at a UNC press conference in Chaguanas, Zakor said law-abiding motorists have nothing to fear, but warned that too many drivers are ignoring the law, including some using vehicles with expired licenses and documents, which also leaves them uninsured. He said the scale of the problem only became clear after the government took office and gained access to traffic data, revealing what he called widespread lawlessness on the nation's roads. Zakor said the administration cannot run a popularity contest on road safety and insisted that tougher enforcement and higher fines are necessary to cut the number of road deaths. Tenants at the Pleasantville Village Plaza say tighter, more efficient management is needed, as HDC Chairman Feroz Khan questions whether the corporation's commercial plazas are financially viable. The Pleasantville site is one of 7 HDC plazas across the country. Khan says together they earn about $1 million a year, but cost roughly $10 million to maintain. Several tenants told Newsday many booths have been empty for years and say red tape, poor record-keeping, and weak marketing are hurting business. Some also complained about slow rent receding and deteriorating infrastructure. Despite that, tenants insist the plaza still serves the Pleasantville community well, providing food, medical services, and banking, and believe it could be profitable with better management. Khan has also accused the former administration of major financial mismanagement at the HDC, claims the former housing minister has not yet publicly responded to. Trinidad and Tobago has recorded its second double murder in the first 5 days of the year. Around 8 o'clock Monday night, residents along Bellevue Road in St. James reported hearing gunfire near the Bellevue Community Center. 3 men were found shot. 24-year-old Jair Gilks and 21-year-old Miguel Joseph later died. A 22-year-old man remains in critical condition at the Port of Spain General Hospital. Police say there is still no known motive. Relatives of Joseph say he worked in AC maintenance and was last seen leaving his girlfriend's home nearby. His mother described him as joyful and loved, but said she has little hope of seeing justice served. These killings, along with the fatal stabbing of a Laventil man in Diego Martin, have pushed the murder toll to 7 so far this year, compared to 3 for the same period in 2025. The Downtown Owners and Merchants Association is warning Port of Spain businesses to step up security, following a series of nighttime shopfront burglaries across the capital. The association says the break-ins have continued despite an alert issued late last year, and some businesses have now been hit more than once. Another burglary was reported around 3 a.m. on January 7th at Frederick Street. Operators are being reminded that street-side show windows must be protected with grills or shutters, as laminated or shatterproof glass is not stopping thieves using cutting tools, including cordless electric discs and bolt cutters. The group says the burglars appear to be targeting cell phone and tech stores, toy shops, bedding outlets, and clothing boutiques, especially those selling women's fashion. The incidents are now under active investigation by the CID. Businesses with information are being urged to contact police. In the region, the United States military has seized 2 more oil tankers allegedly linked to the trade of sanctioned Venezuelan oil, as Washington continues its blockade on Caracas's crude exports. U.S. European Command says one of the tankers, previously known as the Bella 1, was intercepted in the North Atlantic under a U.S. federal warrant after earlier evading boarding and temporarily sailing under the Russian flag. Russia has protested the seizure, saying it violates the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. U.S. Southern Command also confirmed the capture of another vessel, the MT Sophia, described as a stateless dark fleet tanker, now being escorted by the U.S. Coast Guard. So far, at least 4 tankers alleged to be moving Venezuelan oil have been seized by U.S. forces. In the U.S., Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says he is closely monitoring reports after a woman was fatally shot during an ICE-involved incident in Minneapolis. Ellison says details are still emerging, but he criticized President Donald Trump's decision to deploy thousands of armed ICE agents to Minnesota, calling it reckless and a causal factor in the tragedy, regardless of the investigation's outcome. He pledged to hold anyone who broke the law accountable. The shooting has already prompted political reaction in Washington. Senior Democrat Jamie Raskin says he is horrified and wants Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to testify before Congress about how the incident occurred. The shooting happened in the Powderhorn Park area, not far from the intersection where George Floyd was killed in 2020. And Minneapolis officials are urging residents to remain calm as investigations continue. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The Mid-Morning Mix and Mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
When I bust the speaker you start humming. Drop the beat, let the drum start drumming. You don't take me, only leave something. Wetting all the parties and shutting down the place. Chili's all your flag high, be letting go the bass. Take it from me, yeah, take it from me, go. Take it from me, yeah, take it from me. Take it on, take it on.
Don't tell me no. It's in the air. We taking over. We everywhere. We winding slow. We winding fast. Everywhere we go, the party done. I say mash it up 'cause the people that want it toss it up 'cause the money them ride it. Women in charge, the boss we provide it. Party done, we conquered, we ride it. Party done, we conquered, we ride it. Party done, we conquered, we ride it. Can't see me coming when they see me on the street. Them yelling out to me. Let them eat the heat. Party done. Party done. The party done. Yes, the party done. Party done. Done. The party done. Party done. All they don't know when I give it dance. I'm first and so. You make me so good. Turn up the bass and screw up the place like so. Party done. Party, 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 party done. Party, 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 party done.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Yeah, I guess that was probably a fitting song to play today. Party done. All that done. Fall in line. Hey, everybody, good morning to you once again. And of course, welcome inside the second hour of the Breakfast Show. Of course, you're listening to New Era TT Radio. And we are coming to you streaming on our YouTube and Facebook page, and you're also getting us on Gael Caribbean TV. So let me say good morning to all you beautiful people in Gael, and thank you very much for being here on the Breakfast Show. Oh, and just to let you know that when we come off of the Gael feed after 8 o'clock, guess what? You can listen to us all day and every day. NewEraTTRadio.com. New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. Get us on your Google and Alexa devices. Yeah, so you can get us there also. Quality is exceptional. And of course, remember, like, subscribe to the channels, follow the channels, and don't forget to also hit that support, donate button, because we need that support and donation to keep us up and running. Also, if you would like to advertise with us here on the system, on the platform, you can give us a call. You can use any one of those numbers that you normally see. You can get in contact with us. We'll call you back. Right? We are going to put you in front of thousands, so give us a call. So the poll question for today: do you expect that the system will work with this fix-it ticket? Do you expect that it will work? You put in yes, you put in no first. Any explanations after, but yes or no first, all right? And we will be back shortly with the Breakfast Show.
Looking for pet supplies that wouldn't bite? Visit Bow Wow Supply Limited, your friendly family-owned pet store at the corner of Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trent City. We offer fabulous prices, great service, and a wide range of foods, treats, toys, grooming products, and accessories. Everything your pet needs in one place. We are open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sundays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Coming today, Bow Wow Supply Limited, Cane Farm Avenue and 5th Street West, Cane Farm, Trent City. Your pet's friendly place. Call us at 640-7184.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Jump into Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Who get that ticket? Let me see. Officer come to present ticket I get 3 days ago for the blown light. I brought in the ticket and I bring the car so I could show the light fix. Who get that ticket? Let me see. What name of that ticket? That Lois get that ticket. Lois saying here, you know, he work at 48 on, 48 off. You have to come back in the next 2 days to see when here. That's exactly what you're going to face, you know, Sir Charles. That's exactly what people are going to face. You know. That person who get that ticket ain't wrong, you know. You gotta come back.
It's not about the system. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to work whether or not that person is wrong. You're supposed to be wherever it is you go, and they you know what they could probably use like any one of those inspection stations. They could probably say go to the nearest inspection station because there are plenty of them around now.
All right, Charles, Aku.
You know, and
but you get a ticket in Grandy, brother, man. What are you doing here? Here is Port of Spain, you know. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. I have wrong too long, you know. I have wrong too long. I tell you, I didn't just experience TTPS, you know. I live with a TTPS.
Hey, what's your word?
No TTPS, you know.
Do not tell people the poll and let them vote.
Yeah, they could vote still. Do you expect the system to work for the fixed tickets? That's our poll today. Do you expect it to work? Well, Richard ain't going to join us back until he
settle.
Fancy chair with some plants hanging down behind him and nothing. So wait until him to come back.
Yeah.
So you writing?
Yeah, I writing. All
right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Bernadette Yates, no. Miguel Gonzalez, no. Suzette Jessup, no. Rena Boudou Jennings, no. Carol Guevara, she didn't vote. Eunice Dublin, no. Avion Abraham, no. Trini, no. Trini Gets Fit, no. Margaret Thomas, no. Lincoln Foxshot, yes. Lincoln, there's a Lincoln. There's not Lincoln. Lincoln, no, you say you vote yes? Anyway. Brennan Smith, no. Anansi can't answer yet. Ava Smith, no. Wendell, the PM is using classic gaslighting. You sure right? And she's gonna get away with it, eh? Apollonius, no. Gregory Boyer, no. Morning, Gregory. Cheryl Henry, she didn't vote here. Dean Allen didn't vote here either. Michael Cadet, yes. Rena Jennings, your news said the murder total is 7, but Ian Allen has it as 9. All right. Jason Samuel, as Wendell was about to... Okay. People only need to vote, so I don't have to read too much. Michael Oliver, sorry, yes. Suzanne Jessup, no. Alistair Hart, no. Jason Samuel didn't vote. Sherma Paul, no. Finbar Collins, no. Finbar. Diane says no. Carla Hercules, yes. Okay. Valerie Mendoza, no. Marlene Saunders Sobers, no. Slick Money Grip, no. Wendell offers services as a consultancy. You have to pay me big money. Well, no, you don't have to pay me. People are accustomed not paying me, so I'm good with that. Dave Gosine, no. Carlisle Cupid, no. Brent Hackshaw, no. Trini Merle Kitchen, no. Robert Taylor, no. Bridget Buchanan, no. Those are the votes I have, Sir Charles.
All right, so people, you still have a couple seconds to vote.
Did I say?
Go through the WhatsApp, right? So let me tell you what people are saying on the WhatsApp. So Pauline saying yes. And Frank, no. Captain Ron, yes. Mahi, yes. Sean, yes. Peter, that's let me see what Peter said. Going to Peter. All right, Peter say yes. Kenwin says no, surprisingly. Renee Pinal says no. Robert Allen, no. That's what I got here, Wendell.
All right, so I have Lester Cragwell. I also have Robert Allen coming in here, but you just called his name. Lester Cragwell says no. All right, so those are the votes we have. That system, I hope it works. I hope and pray, but I have no confidence that it will. Simply because we've made such a mess of everything already. You know what I mean? To go and try to say, giving people
Technology technology will get us through this.
No, I laughed at the comment just given.
Well, I have no faith in the technology. Once everybody on the system and things are, you see right now, just as it is.
The Chelsea license office system crashed because people want to pay money. What are you talking about?
Well, that was a little glitch. Everything was a little glitch. Everything. But guess what? It's back up and running.
A little glitch.
All right, a little glitch.
Again for 2 days.
You forget you forget the Colin Imbud had said the Auditor General thing was a glitch, a new system, you know.
Yeah.
And they fix it.
Okay.
That was $3 billion.
Okay. All right.
So I have a little faith in this system. Once everybody's name is in the system, it's computerized. They're done there already. That's right. As it is right now, if a policeman pulls you up, and from the time he put in your number and stuff, he will know if you already have tickets and all kind of thing pending.
So Charles, let me give you an experience. You know, I always have a personal experience, right?
Mr. Patrick.
Richard will say, "Oh God, it's all about you again." Eh? But guess what?
You are Mr. Patrick.
Because I've had so many different experiences, Sir Charles, I could talk about it. There was a time I got a ticket. I got a ticket. I can't remember what was the ticket. Anyway, I got it in Arima, and I went to the Arima to pay it because I know I was wrong, and I went to pay it, and it was during COVID time. And I went to pay it, and they said, well, we don't see the ticket in the system, right? At that time, they were writing the tickets, right? The people at the court told me, well, we can't take your money because we're not seeing it. I went to pay the ticket, but the person who was supposed to send in the copy or the documents to the court, so that when I go into the court to pay it, because that is what you had to do then, you had to go into the court to pay it. They didn't do their end of it. They gave me a ticket and didn't send their part of it into the court. And I've never paid that ticket because I couldn't. They said, so I said, what to do? I said, the time could reach. They said, well, we can't take your money because we don't have any.
We don't have it, nothing on record.
Yeah.
I would be so glad if I was you. Huh? I would be so happy.
But I mean, I was happy, but at the same time, I have two partners. Both in the media. They work for I-95. It happened to Darian and it happened to John Gill. The police come and knock their door 4 o'clock in the morning, you know. Police come to their home 4 o'clock in the morning because of an unpaid ticket. 2 of them have had that experience, you know.
I have had that experience.
Huh?
Yes, I was given that one day. You're
keeping back information from us, man.
When we have time, maybe if we have time after. I don't want a next experience like that.
I'm telling you. I know what I experienced.
Maybe when we finish the poll and we get rid of all the other things, I will give you my experience with not paying a ticket.
All right. So give us the results.
So, Sir Charles, you engaged in lawlessness then?
Trinidad lawless? No, I felt that I did not deserve the ticket, and I say I ain't paying no ticket.
Oh Lord. But we're Richard, I ain't seen him, I hear him, I ain't seen him.
He did,
okay.
Yeah, he did.
Richard, you ever had that experience?
No.
You never got a ticket, or you always take your ticket all day.
Me, I've gotten one ticket ever, and I paid it immediately. That's it. And that was years and years and years ago. I'm not somebody that generally will get tickets like that because I'm not lawless.
I believe I'm not lawless either, but I've gotten unjust tickets. You know that. You were with me when I got one at a time. You understand?
But you just say you just say you were lawless.
No, I'm generally not.
I know, but you just admitted on national television and radio that you were lawless.
No, I think that ticket
you
was.
said I was wrong. I know I was wrong, and I went to pay the ticket.
So
that translates to I was lawless. I knew I was lawless, and I was going and pay for my lawlessness.
Okay, so I went.
That's all.
No, there are certain tickets. Even that ticket what I got with you that time, I ended up going and paid because it was just a back and forth in court. And I told the magistrate one day, I just interrupted her and I said, "Listen, I don't want to contest this ticket anymore." She said, "Okay," and she was lenient with me. She said, "Okay, I will just not put anything on it. Just go and pay the ticket as it is." And that's what she made arrangements for me to go and do it because I couldn't handle the back and forth in court. I'd have still been doing that matter in court, Richard, if I didn't go and pay that ticket. I couldn't take that stress. So I'm just saying, in that instance with that ticket, you know what I think it was? If I remember carefully, my vehicle was broken into, and I had borrowed a vehicle from a mutual friend of ours. I had my PBR pass, and I was driving up the road. And I put the PBR pass in the windscreen, but it wasn't for the vehicle that I was driving. And the officer didn't see reason in it, and he said, "No, I'm giving you a ticket anyway because this is not the vehicle that you're authorized to drive." And I said nothing. I didn't argue with him, and that's the ticket I went and paid. I went to the ticket. I went and attempt to pay.
So let me give you the results of the poll. We have gone way past that. So we had 38 people voting on the poll today. 30 of you said no, and 8 of you said yes. 30 saying no, and 8 saying yes.
All right. There we go.
That's the poll for today.
That system. I hope it works, but I have no confidence that it will. Just like everything. Anyway.
All right. So, seeing that we didn't get a chance to do our Did You Know segment, let's do that, and we will be back shortly, people.
J.D. Vance promises an America where you no longer have to apologize for being white. Here to dissect the fallacy of white guilt is me. But first, am I the only one that thinks this nigga looks like a werewolf? In human form? Let me know something. I can't be the only person that sees this. See, y'all just be letting werewolves run y'all political parties and you wonder why they act different every 30 days. Yo, I have this theory why the UFC is so full of racists. And that's because they think that acknowledging the collective harms of white supremacy and taking reparative measures equates to apologizing for being white, which is weakness. And a trained assassin might reject that. MAGA, same thing, but it's actually a paper-thin understanding of racial justice. Justice has nothing to do with white guilt or apologize. And I've known people to do that. "Oh, I'm just a white guy. It's so embarrassing." Like, if that's you, please stop. It's low-key counterproductive to racial equality because that surface-level guilt is a feeling, not an action. A paralyzing feeling at that. It's easy to think that's enough. It's feeling bad. We're not asking people to apologize for being white. We're asking them to acknowledge the impact and the existence of racism and then choose to be anti-racist. And that means taking action and choosing behavior that not only isn't racist, but works against racism. White guilt doesn't do anything for anyone because it's a shallow, baseless foundation for reconciliation. Case in point, 2020, the Black Square era. Hollywood greenlights all these black shows. Corporations make commitments to DEI. 4 years later, all the shows get canceled. Target dumps DEI. Because guilt is a shallow motivator. Principle is a much more powerful driving force. Now, of course, this is a distraction for the government to keep robbing American people in the name of division. But, you know, by the numbers, white people control 90% of the land, 80% of the wealth, 75% of the federal government. They're doing all right. You know what I mean? This shit is definitely a distraction. To the would-be ally, let go of your guilt and your apologies. Pick up Ibram X. Kendi, How to Be an Anti-Racist, and let's rock and roll.
Okay, now you know. If you didn't know, now you know. This whole thing of racism, boy, oh Lord. You know.
Yeah. Lester Cragwell, I'm almost certain you are correct. So we could take some calls, people. We're talking about what's been happening, of course, in Ticketland. We're still trying to get Commissioner Clive Clark. But like, as I said, like everybody breaks in from interviews now. Everybody.
As you talk about Commissioner Clive Clark, check out this.
Hold on. That's what I want. Right.
Sure. Mr. Clark, I hear you. Another long run-up you give me. The bottom line I'm asking, why does it always appear to the traveling public when school terms reopen, like this, what is happening this week, that somewhere between there's a frustration of by the licensing officers and the police to come out at peak time, especially in the first week of school, and it happens consistently throughout all school terms to frustrate the traveling public. Because I hear you, and I'm asking why that did not happen last week or during the vacation period of doing the stop and search at different times throughout the day. Why it always seems to happen at peak time when the traveling public seems to be trying to get their children to school on a timely manner. Why does this consistently happen every school term?
Mr. Clark, perhaps I could follow it up with my question. I think it's a legitimate question. It's a very serious issue because we're dealing with security. We're dealing with people who are vulnerable, children, people who might be stuck in traffic, who are ill, people who are trying to access police stations because they are victims of crime. Do you have data, or is data collected, let us say, over any given period of time to say over the last 6 months how many major traffic stops there were to ensure enforcement of the law and to make sure that cars are insured and that kind of thing? Do you collect that kind of data?
Yeah, Chair, I can answer for the licensing division. I think police might have to answer for the licensing division. Let me say though, all our exercise, licensing officers seldomly work by ourselves, and the member is right. We always work together with police on a coordinated activity. I want to say on those activities, those activities are most times, all times, planned activities. Secondly, given the tools in which we use to coordinate enforcement, we do have access to those data, so we can provide the information in terms of what type of offenses, what type of challenges we meet at each of those segments. That data reside with us. We can identify how many ticketer issues, what are the growing trend. What I want to agree with though is that we are mindful and we remember question that it appears to the public, and we sometimes appear that we do come out at that point in time. But I know for sure when we look at our schedule in terms of activities, we are throughout the country, and we do work at different time at different locations.
Where you can say that?
He went all the way. Oh, apparently, because you realize that even before David Lee asked him the question, that was sitting on some joint select committee, right? So he probably was going all the way around. So he done had David Lee done weary already with whatever he was talking about before. He never really answered the question as to why they just
But
come out.
he kind of, because he basically said, what I heard, I mean, I this is my interpretation of what Mr. Clark, that was the transport commissioner, people. What I basically heard is that these are planned activities. So he just confirming what David Lee said, is asking, why are they planned for the first week of school?
They inconvenience people.
It's his planned, and he said they never work alone, they always work with the TTPS. Who plans it? The TTPS plan. Is it that the TTPS is planning it, or the transport commissioner is planning it? He didn't say, but I guess he is trying to hint that is a TTPS plan.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if that is the case, I mean, the part of the way I was really trying to get directly is that it is planned, but why is it planned for that time?
Yeah.
First, and it's not like a now thing. It's like always the first couple of days of school where people are going to and fro, and most times school is a lot of the times when people are now going back to work also.
So
some
Charles,
people wouldn't,
because we wired that way. We wired the state is wired to a certain way of thinking. In other words, the first month of the year, the first 2 weeks of the year, we always have a surge of these type of activities, and then it dies off. It is normal, Sir Charles.
Yeah, but then, and if it does that, and I think that what he was saying is that, some of those, even if it is a regular activities to stop search, at some point in time, those things may not really be necessary, especially when you have the majority of the population outside going to work on school and those different kinds of things, Maybe you could do that at a different time. I don't know. This country that's mad.
That was my interpretation of what I just heard there, because Mr. Clark wasn't very clear, and he's normally very articulate. We've interviewed him a couple of times. But he was just fumbling along in terms of that answer, because my understanding, and I got it from reliable sources, that as licensing officers themselves, including they were not aware of what was coming. They were not aware of all these traffic changes, these fine changes. They were not aware. That is my understanding of it. So Mr. Clark is hard pressed to go there and talk about things he had nothing to plan, nothing to do with. That's what they're doing, people. He had nothing to do with these increases. That is my understanding, people.
Yeah, but the question wasn't about the increases. It was about the timing.
No, I'm just saying.
Why it is that,
Yeah. No, but my response to him responding to a joint select committee. Because poor fella, he must be had nothing to do with them exercises either.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, they are the ones who are doing the thing, But sometimes I suppose when you look at it, if the police is even say, hey, right, they're going to send down some people will go and do so and so, why today, sir, at this point in time? So, what I mean? Why do we have to do this at this point in time to inconvenience you? Just getting the public more and more angry. That's more road rage you're talking about, that alone can cause accident. You just get everybody hyper and vexed because of that situation. All right, so let's take a couple of your calls while Richard comes back. When Richard comes back, I'll tell you what happened with me on the ticket.
Yeah, we want to hear how you've been lawless.
Right,
we want to hear. Richard didn't tell us about his ticket either, too. We need to hear. We need confession. I the only honest person on the show.
It just might be when it just might be. Caller, good morning.
Good morning and happy New Year, gentlemen.
Morning to you, sir. Happy New Year to you too.
Answer.
Yeah, since our video call. So I hope you allow me to give you the benefit of my experience and expertise, right?
Yeah, sure.
I looked at the Joint Select Committee as well, and when you had time, you could check out the contribution of the Chief Traffic Engineer, who said some interesting things. I think flew over much of the head of the committee because of what they wanted to get. Because you see, what happened to Mr. Clark as the clip you know showed, right? Ms. Choate asked about statistics. Now, statistics, Karen, with respect to traffic enforcement, RTAs, is a kind of technical thing, right? Because we have to go back on what we call I will give it the term, when you take off. The takeoff has to do with the amount of penalties issued, and now we have forms and so on to input onto the system with respect to whether it is public service vehicles, private vehicles, trucks, and so on, right? And after you input that data, you will be able to collate it and so on. Now, traffic branch is the overarching entity when it comes to traffic data collected. And then after they compile that, they would send it to the crime and analysis branch, that is the CAPA of the police service, who is the overall collating agency, right? So they will have that part. To answer Mrs. Stewart's question as she phrased it off the bat, and Mr. Lee's question off the bat, would have been difficult for him. But from the point of view, I would have answered like this way if I was asking me, and I was before you joined the committee, to Mr. Lee's question. Truthfully, but I could tell you, I worked in the West, and Mr. Stevens, you would know in the good old days of traffic enforcement in the West, before we had how the network is now, what we used to have coordination from West End. West End, they used to send police out to the intersection at St. Lucian Road before the extension of the highway is now, right? St. Lucian Road, they said St. James used to send officers by Cocorit flyover and by the Link Road. And then you also had officers by the long circular junction. Yeah. Right? Before the traffic plan in the morning into Marva, right? From traffic branch, you saw coordination where they used to send people to South Key intersection and the Abattoir Road down there, right? And then you saw police officers by the old turn off to go to South, because that's where the heaviest traffic was, right? Most of the time, officers on foot and mobile, and then you had the cyclists. What you have now is that you don't have that level of coordination simply because of one, attrition of resources and trained personnel, and two, I could tell you, traffic police officers are loath, and I say not brave, loath to do traffic duties. That is, and there's a level of how to put it, isolation. So that an incident, traffic, a roadblock could be going on up by the Big Tree and Laventel Road, and other exercises are going on, and there is no coordination among the individual divisional commanders who lead in these exercises with one another. So there's no proper communication to another team to say, hey, Stevens and team are on the foreshore, and Charles and team in Sinclair by the roundabout by the Big Tree, and Jones and team. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You could be able to have a next team now who would be moving like this type and say, listen, let's direct traffic who not going through to that part here and do that. Understand? Yeah. And the other thing is that in some key areas where there is no side lane to interact with the drivers they're interacting with, people are stuck in the traffic. So what we have to do is to coordinate an egress for people who are not thinking, right? And picking the points of where to set up these exercises. That is the problem, you know. That is a major part of the problem, right? So you wouldn't set up you wouldn't do an exercise, it wouldn't be prudent to do an exercise on the Eastern Main Road while one is also going on the highway. Because the people are not to go. Right?
Yes.
That's the problem. Lack of proper coordination. And you see that when you have like flooding events and so on. And that is all people have to be honest and say that on our part, there's not sufficient coordination. Because that question was asked, Mr. Street asked later on about a coordinating committee with all the entities responsible for traffic, and if that is done. I can tell you, no, in my experience, no, that is not done. Most of the times, police don't leave, especially when they see something happen, and you could call traffic management and say, listen, allow these lights to be all green to allow traffic to flow because something happened here, like a major accident. That will happen. That's how I feel, and that is the main reason. You see, if you coordinate those simple things, and you know what I'm doing reason for that, gentlemen? No integrated communication, wireless communication among all the entities like you see outside. So it's like how something happened in States or England, ambulance would come, traffic would happen. That is what we will lack. And until we have that kind of coordination, the pain will continue. But it's not so chance like you go out there and do something. And most of the time what has happened, I can tell you in my experience, I see a comedy station, I see 10 police. Hey, you want to go there and go exercise, go and do something. And that will happen to the police station, when I will move, you understand what I'm showing you? So it's not time. So you go out there and it might be early in the morning when traffic going on. But the inspector or the supervisor come and say, let people go outside, so go outside and do something. And from there, is where the snowball happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is coordination. Like for Carnival, like we had Miss Universe down in Shagamas and so on, major events, but most of the time, it's fairly ad hoc. And the ad hoc
by KVI. It's by VAPS. Thanks for confirming. Thanks for confirming what I know it to be also. You understand? Thanks for confirming it. And as Anand said, inconvenience is generally not a consideration in law enforcement. Because it's like, which is why I said I have no confidence that this ticket system, fix it thing will work, because they will come here, go in the station and they go say, the officer on leaving or he off these days, you have to come back when he here. I can't deal with that now. That is what's going to happen. Anyway, thanks for that answer.
Caller, good morning to you.
Tell us about his lawlessness. Richard is on.
Just hold on. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead, caller.
Now, as I get older, I think I have a low tolerance for what I call stupid. Alright? This whole traffic issue. First of all, you labor it as a lawless stuff. And to me, that's a reflection from leadership and responsibility. And what it is that you put all the blame on the population, the persons on the low end, rather than looking at the system and looking at the policies that contribute to this. And why I say that is that you have a volume of vehicles that are over the 15 years, 20 years on the roadway. Obviously, those parts will deteriorate over a period of time. But the system has not been made for persons to purchase new vehicles because the importation of new vehicles is so expensive, right? And then it is that the policies themselves it contributes to this whole environment. You're not looking at it. So when it comes to a person like, for example, the vendor that's out there to make his trade, he takes a chance because purchasing of parts, vehicles, parts and other things that goes towards the maintenance of vehicles is just too expensive. And then it is when it got licensing, you get to spend a whole day just to get your relevant documents in order. And they're so efficient. When you go there 9 o'clock, you don't leave it there until 2 o'clock. But they're out there 6 o'clock to give you tickets. How that could be? Right? So we have to look at the system rather than penalizing people. If the system becomes more effective, if it is that you make importation of vehicles, so that person can purchase these vehicles and purchase these parts and make it more affordable for individuals to ensure that they maintain the vehicles inside. And the system becomes so efficient that we don't have to actually go in. If it is that we need to renew our permit, and I heard that the minister yesterday that it's online, you can renew your permit online. No, you still have to go in. They're still going to go work with the documentation, and they still have to wait on that deadline because they don't have the sufficient
No, but that's not true. We've had people calling that said that you can renew your permit online and they can post it to you, or you could go and collect it.
I just applied for it online, and I have to get a date. And I have to go in for the form and a date to go in.
Well, that's not the experience of somebody who had called in about it and said yes, it does work, and that you could get it delivered, or you could go in and collect it.
But if that is so, then the application the process I went through online, which was as of yesterday, that I get a date for next week, the 15th, right? That wasn't afforded to me. It was a renewal.
Yeah. Well, as you go through the process and you also be able to call us back and tell us how it
we'll have to get Mr.
Yeah,
Clark
but thanks very much, caller.
We should really work on getting Mr. Clark back on. As I say, he's normally very articulate. So I would continue to try to get Mr. Clyde Clark on the show. But that caller said something that sparked something interest in me, but I forget what it is. I get excited.
Well, let's take this call. Caller, good morning to you.
Hi guys, morning. Happy New Year,
Carol.
I have a question. I think Lester Sagwell also has the same question on the chat. There's a guy a video on social media where this guy saying he got $14,000 vehicles parked outside, I guess outside his home. A vehicle that has been parked up for months. There was a roadblock somewhere, road, from his home, and a police officer walked up to his home, and I guess called him out or whatever, asked whose vehicle it is, and he explained to the officer that the vehicle is not working and he is there to be stopped or whatever. And the officer proceeded to give him 2 tickets, one for no insurance, one for cracking screen, and one for something else. I don't remember what the third one is. But, I mean, can they do that? The vehicle parked up and being driven, nobody in the vehicle or whatever. And can he do that? I mean, obviously he can because he did. But is that legal?
With what is legal?
The vehicle was in his yard or the vehicle was in the road?
It was in the road. Let's put it this way. That is thanks, Carol. Let me try to answer that because
Thanks very much, Carol.
that is a common problem that we would have faced too whilst I was in Kongs. Because these roadside garages, especially in Port of Spain, they are all over with derelict vehicles parked up at the side of the road, right? There's a law against that, yes. You know what I mean? Of course, some people just don't have a yard to put it in. You know what I mean? Or sometimes these vehicles are on the pavements and all that, all manner of things. So it is against the law, yes. And I guess it'll be up to the discretion of the police officer, whoever at the point in time. Because it's even breaching the Public Health Act. Because a lot of these vehicles are there, they're causing mosquito, the drain, the water can't flow in the drain, the cars are derelict, they're causing all manner of things. So you're breaking the law, essentially. You understand? I don't know what's the situation with that guy in particular. You know what I mean? As to why. but if they have to go giving ticket for that, well, they will never stop giving tickets. All over this country, have somebody have a car park up somewhere that breaching the law every other day, because parking is alternate parking. So every other day that car breaching the law, it's on the wrong side of the road. If you had to look at things that way, you understand? So I don't know how they're fixing that.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, sir. Good morning to you and your panel. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning to you.
Calling from Shogona.
Morning.
So I am looking at the country which is heading into a very nice, shady position. A couple of years ago, licensing officers went to Tobago with some extra police and they shared some tickets. A certain man's wife was given a ticket. And the man make a problem because his wife not supposed to get tickets. Now today, that man received a radar in Tobago. He don't know anything about it. he don't know we get there. But last night, the man is saying big and bold that he is going to lick it down. So he's going to stop laughing. You see what this is? He tells Tobago people as a leader that he don't know how that get there. Nobody tell you anything. Nobody don't have the phone. But now he is going to lead a try to break it down. So I want to know what magical power this man have in that he is going to mash down the property of the United States of America on what grounds it is in Tobago, but this man is going to destroy it. So let me hold on that. We come out now that I would like you to use your good office to investigate who is giving out contract for the traffic wardens, because we are seeing them in the airport now. We've seen them bundled all about the place all of a sudden. So maybe it is not under the Ministry of Works no more. Maybe it is a contracted business, because I've seen a lot of them with a lot of strange behavior. So, sir, I expect that you can use a good office to find out if it comes to an entity like, you remember MTS? What was the purpose of MTS when it started?
Yes.
Look what MTS is today. Who is in charge of MTS? Problem. So, you could do me a little favor by checking to see who is the road wardens are contracted and to who. And then we come back now to the traffic with the state. Now, a car park on the road with no driver, you can't give them a ticket unless he park on the wrong side. Because one, my car is parked up on the roadside. The most the police could ask who is the owner. But usually the police have no authority to give a parked vehicle an inspection. It is illegal. He's not qualified for that. So sometimes we know that you have to be careful when you're repeating these things, because sometimes the complainer tell a lot of lies. But you have to look at the rules. So my friend, you have your homework. I expect to hear that before you finish.
But the video yesterday with the guy with the truck, and the policeman was telling him on video, you could just challenge the ticket, because that's the attitude, you know. The police, out of the police hands after they write up that ticket for you.
It's up to you now to go and frustrate yourself to go through the court process. We don't get the ticket.
You tell the man, well, go and challenge it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's up
They
to
don't
you
care.
if you want to challenge it. So.
I have been well, I saw that story with that man who had a derelict car outside of his house. I don't know if he was a garage or if that was just his car and he parked that car outside. And that was it couldn't move or whatever, and outside his house, and he got tickets to the car, no insurance, blah blah blah. It's a kind of strange situation. And to me, it calls for that was one that called for some discretion on the part of the police officer. That should say, look, if the car is not working and it's derelict, get it moved inside to your garage, else you're gonna have problems and you're gonna have to get the tickets for it.
Yeah,
that's what could have been done. But he got one long set of tickets. So
Yeah,
I don't even know how much money it came up to.
Yeah, fix a ticket.
I am looking at the online process for renewal of your driver's permit, and I have no idea what that caller is talking about. Because even the brochure says you can do everything online. The only thing that I can see is that he submitted his documents online and it was not approved, and they're saying he has to come in because there was something wrong with one of his documents. That's the only explanation I can logically come to why it is that he has to have an appointment. Because all of the information here says that you can complete the entire process online, and you can indicate which licensing office you want to collect the license at, or you can have it delivered. And I remember somebody who called and said they went through the process, and they collected it. They didn't have it delivered, but they just collected it. So him saying that he has to have an appointment, and I hope he calls back, is that it has to be that there was a problem with one of his documents. And because the process, you submit all of your documents, and then it's approved, and then you pay online, and then you will get it eventually in the mail, or you collect it at whatever designated office.
Well, Lucas Henry is also saying that she renewed her DP. She said she renewed her DP last year. I got the appointment online, but had to go right to road for it. So I guess the choice is if you want to go for it or if you want to have it collected or if you want it mailed. But I think most people will want to go and collect it anyway. You know?
Yeah, Pastor. Caller, good morning to you. Very quickly. Sorry.
Good morning to you, gentlemen, and Happy New Year. On the previous place where you guys used to be on that morning show, you all, when the YouTube program was now started, you all interviewed the head of legal at the time, who was a politician. And I raised the point I spoke about in 2002, where in New York City, a relative of mine was given a ticket because one headlight wasn't working. A ticket was issued, and he was given 24 hours to get it repaired. Go to a reputable dealer, come back to any precinct, which will be no contest, and the ticket will be wiped off. Failure to do that, the ticket will be enforced. That was over 10 years ago. I tried raising it on the program, and you, Wendell, indicated that you had a similar situation where you had a bulb that you couldn't get because the car dealership could bring it in from the another country. And you were told, well, if it is you could afford a vehicle like that, then you could afford a I don't remember that, Wendell. And you and Richard were mostly shocked. And I am saying something like that. There are cars that are in the country, but they are not the spare parts for the bulbs or the windscreen as yet. Why would you want to penalize somebody for that in that manner? Give us a time to repair it with a receipt and let the ticket flow.
Yeah. Because thanks for that, caller. Because the next thing is going to happen is that people are going to argue that 3 days is not enough because sometimes it's impossible to get your bulb in 3 days or your whatever in 3 days. That's going to be the next argument. We just going, I don't know, we just,
what you all should probably do, sorry about that, Richard, with probably like expensive vehicles, as Wendell was just saying, the man said, do like people like me who had cheap vehicles. I will normally, because I know tail lights and things, the bulbs will blow, I will have them there waiting. So maybe if you know
Sir Charles,
have a couple spares.
Sir Charles, the government just gave the okay to import 8-year-old vehicles into the country. What do you think going to happen? You think 8-year-old vehicles come in perfect?
No, they may not come in. But you could try if you look around and recognize that, hey, this vehicle, let me check and see if they have bulbs for it, because that is.
First of all, there's several issues here. One, I agree, Wendell. I don't think 3 days is enough. I think it should be like a 10-day period, which 10 working days, which gives you 2 weeks to try and solve whatever issue, and it should be blanket for all of those non-driver related offenses. 10 days to remedy the problem. That's my suggestion.
10 days is reasonable. I agree.
But because 2 weeks is sufficient, even you have to order it. But beyond all of that, I remember years ago, and let me tell you, when I say years ago, I mean years ago. I'm talking about 15 years ago or so, maybe a little bit more, maybe it was 18. I was part of a committee with the consumer protection unit, and we were reviewing possible legislation, consumer legislation, that if you are selling a product in Trinidad and Tobago, you are supposed to have the parts and spare parts to service that product, which would have included cars and car sellers, that if you lose a bulb, if you need a bulb, they are required to stock it by law.
Yeah.
About 18 years ago,
like other places.
I was on a committee to modernize the consumer legislation, to also make sure that businesses were up to par in terms of servicing their customers. All in all, of any law like that?
Richard, what do you hear when you go into places now? We don't stock that, We had to order that.
You had to order that.
We had to order that. That's what we hear.
Well, Wendell, I don't even do that. Let me tell you something. If I need a part, even if you have to change brake pads or whatever, because you have to change brake pads, whether you have an EV or not, you have to change brake pads. I just get the part number and I order it in advance.
I know it in advance. That's what you have to do. All right, we're going to the news. That is running late. We are coming back, people. Stay with us.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is news now for Thursday, January 8th on Net Radio and Gael TV. I'm Derek McMillan. Thanks for joining us. Transport Minister Eli Zakor is defending the government's crackdown on road traffic violations, saying the aim is not to raise revenue, but to restore order and save lives. Speaking at a UNC press conference in Chaguanas, Zakor said law-abiding motorists have nothing to fear, but warned that too many drivers are ignoring the law, including some using vehicles with expired licenses and documents, which also leaves them uninsured. He said the scale of the problem only became clear after the government took office and gained access to traffic data, revealing what he called widespread lawlessness on the nation's roads. Zakor said the administration cannot run a popularity contest on road safety and insisted that tougher enforcement and higher fines are necessary to cut the number of road deaths. Tenants at the Pleasantville Village Plaza say tighter, more efficient management is needed, as HDC Chairman Feroz Khan questions whether the corporation's commercial plazas are financially viable. The Pleasantville site is one of 7 HDC plazas across the country. Khan says together they earn about $1 million a year, but cost roughly $10 million to maintain. Several tenants told Newsday many booths have been empty for years and say red tape, poor record keeping, and weak marketing are hurting business. Some also complained about slow rent receding and deteriorating infrastructure. Despite that, tenants insist the plaza still serves the Pleasantville community well, providing food, medical services, and banking, and believe it could be profitable with better management. Khan has also accused the former administration of major financial mismanagement at the HDC, claims the former housing minister has not yet publicly responded to. Trinidad and Tobago has recorded its second double murder in the first 5 days of the year. Around 8 o'clock Monday night, residents along Bellevue Road in St. James reported hearing gunfire near the Bellevue Community Center. 3 men were found shot. 2, 24-year-old Jair Gilks and 21-year-old Miguel Joseph, later died. A 22-year-old man remains in critical condition at the Port of Spain General Hospital. Police say there is still no known motive. Relatives of Joseph say he worked in AC maintenance and was last seen leaving his girlfriend's home nearby. His mother described him as joyful and loved, but said she has little hope of seeing justice served. These killings, along with the fatal stabbing of a Laventil man in Diego Martin, have pushed the murder toll to 7 so far this year, compared to 3 for the same period in 2025. The Downtown Owners and Merchants Association is warning Port of Spain businesses to step up security, following a series of nighttime shopfront burglaries across the capital. The association says the break-ins have continued despite an alert issued late last year, and some businesses have now been hit more than once. Another burglary was reported around 3 a.m. on January 7th at Frederick Street. Operators are being reminded that street-side show windows must be protected with grills or shutters, as laminated or shatterproof glass is not stopping thieves using cutting tools, including cordless electric discs and bolt cutters. The group says the burglars appear to be targeting cell phone and tech stores, toy shops, bedding outlets, and clothing boutiques, especially those selling women's fashion. The incidents are now under active investigation by the CID. Businesses with information are being urged to contact police. In the region, the United States military has seized 2 more oil tankers allegedly linked to the trade of sanctioned Venezuelan oil, as Washington continues its blockade on Caracas's crude exports. U.S. European Command says one of the tankers, previously known as the Bella 1, was intercepted in the North Atlantic under a U.S. federal warrant, After earlier evading boarding and temporarily sailing under the Russian flag, Russia has protested the seizure, saying it violates the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. U.S. Southern Command also confirmed the capture of another vessel, the MT Sophia, described as a stateless dark fleet tanker, now being escorted by the U.S. Coast Guard. So far, at least 4 tankers alleged to be moving Venezuelan oil have been seized by U.S. forces. In the U.S., Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison says he is closely monitoring reports after a woman was fatally shot during an ICE-involved incident in Minneapolis. Ellison says details are still emerging, but he criticized President Donald Trump's decision to deploy thousands of armed ICE agents to Minnesota, calling it reckless and a causal factor in the tragedy, regardless of the investigation's outcome. He pledged to hold anyone who broke the law accountable. The shooting has already prompted political reaction in Washington. Senior Democrat Jamie Raskin says he is horrified and wants Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to testify before Congress about how the incident occurred. The shooting happened in the Powderhorn Park area, not far from the intersection where George Floyd was killed in 2020. And Minneapolis officials are urging residents to remain calm as investigations continue. And that's news at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Jump into savings at Furniture Plus. Enjoy up to 40% off in-store and online. Find amazing deals on furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more. Plus extra discounts on credit plans and free gifts with select purchases. Save more at Furniture Plus today.
But that's not all. Herbert is also...
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Breakfast Show on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV. We are happy to have you wherever you may be coming in from, and we do encourage you to stay with us. All right, remember, we're streaming all the time, all day, every day, holiday, Christmas, we were here, Boxing Day, and we are going to be here also. So let's stay with us on that. All right, and don't forget to hit our support buttons, because we need your support. So when you go to like our YouTube channel, you go into the description area and you will see our support donate button there. You can hit that. If you go to our website at www.newerattradio.com, you will see that support button there under all the pictures of the presenters. Right, so we're back inside the final leg.
Yeah, we are. Of course, lots of information on the chat. Brent Oxshaw said the car dealerships do not give you the part numbers when you request same. Anand says customs take a long time to clear, 2 days besides the time taken for flights. Quoted Finn says we are regressing. I I saw another comment from Lester Cragwell. As long as we're using tickets to replace lost revenue in the absence of agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, and energy industries, we will continue to have serious problems. Beauty Culture said, but Richard, everyone doesn't have a means to do that. Many people can't get a credit card self to buy online, which can take more than 7 to 10 days. Anand is explaining something that is common to plenty of us, including myself. One guy parks his second van in front of my gap and goes elsewhere. I have to beg him to move to cut grass.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. When Dean Allen says in the Etihad grounds, the food trucks, they are permanently parking as the owners have nowhere to park them. Well, that place is designed for that. So I don't think that will
pick up fines and
encourage a traffic fine, because it's a particular space. It's like the savannah too, and Mrs. R looking to step out on you, Richard, because she find Derek kind of fine all of a sudden. Look at how long Derek we didn't use it.
Well, actually,
she and Penny will fight.
It's a good thing that you called her name. So, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Good morning, darlings. Good morning. I'm in traffic here. Stressed out as usual every single day. I don't know who is responsible for traffic and why the country has much traffic. What to do about this traffic every day? 2-hour commute, OMG. Any traffic person listening, oh my God.
That's on the highway?
On the highway, yeah. It's like 2 hours every single day.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Like, I don't know what they're doing in the office.
If they had done the monorail, when we are big fans of the monorail.
Yes.
Yes. If you have done something like that, then I think if you have something efficient like that that's getting you wherever you're going in 10, 15, 20 minutes, it would encourage people to leave their cars at home. Efficient, clean, modern. I think that's the way we should have gone. And plenty people say, oh, it's not feasible.
I still don't know if I would do that, because as I say, on evenings you have things to do, people to do, people to see, things to do. You're a busy woman. So you have time to go back with any
monorail.
No. You take a TTRS and go on your beat and then go back to the monorail and go up the road. What's wrong with that?
Well, they'll just solve the problem there.
But you know what? I totally agree with some of the things. I just like a while of my love of my life, Richard. But I agree with some of the things he's been saying. But the fines are definitely outrageous. However, again, I say, Rich, Kamala or whoever, at the end of the day, she is correct, or I don't know. I just so disgusted with the whole government right now. But my thing is, why are there so many people, Rich? I understand one or two people might say, oh, I don't drive, I have a permit, it expires, let me go and renew it. I don't have a car, what it says renew it, and now go to renew it, and 3-4 months pass. What is the minority of examples like those? Most people are aware. Look at that coconut vendor. You got expensive driving. Rich, you got expensive driving for all different reasons. You come back.
Yeah, but Mrs. R, all of those people at licensing, in whether it be San Fernando or Rima or Port of Spain or wherever else there is an office, for all of the hundreds or even thousands of people that you saw, there's still a small number compared to the amount of people who drive on the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. They are a minute number.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
But people look at it.
That's why Charlie and I saying there's a few lawless people. Like most of us, we have our ducks in order. We have our stuff in order as best as possible. But
when I say people,
make it hard for all of us now.
But when people extrapolate and say, oh, there's so much people by licensing, you see, because we are a lawless country. That's just a few people in terms of all of the drivers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, but look at the few.
And there is nothing to prove they were lawless. They may be very much in time in terms of doing whatever they're doing.
No, but look, it's $17,000. It's not. I mean, 17,000. It's not 17,000 tickets. How much it is? Or something, some crazy amount like that within 6 days. That's madness, Rich. That is absolute madness. I cannot believe a big heart that old people in that. You continue. When you listen to the young people that who pull it goal and try to make $1.
1,700. So they said, I think it was 1,700 tickets. Yeah, it's 1,700.
But that's what I'm saying. Over 50 people.
But then, Mrs. R, the Prime Minister herself said that there was a few wicked traffic officers and stuff who abused the system. Data is always an important thing. So how much of those tickets were abusive tickets?
It's true.
Was it 10%? Was it 5%? Was it 20%? We don't know because we are not a country that digs into data. We like to have opinions and talk on the surface. We see plenty of people out rising saying, look, all of them lawless. People there for legitimate business. 90% of them, 95% of the people in licensing might have been there on legitimate business. But people pass and saying, look, all of them lawless. Because we go to assumptions and we don't look at data.
I think that's the attorney. You will always have that presumption. Okay, you will presume innocent until proven guilty. But you just presuming that, but what if plenty of them now trying to get the doctor order quietly? We will never know.
And that is fine because some people, they are constrained by life, by finances, in terms of doing stuff. So
I agree totally.
Does a country, do we lean towards empathy or do we lean towards strict and being heartless? What kind of country do you?
I agree with you, as I say. I agree with you in terms of the fine. They're outrageous. I agree with that part. I've said that openly. That part is madness. You can't be charging somebody X amount of money and telling you now you have 2 days to get it fixed and 7 days. I mean, who you really feel you are when the day comes? I mean, that you have that attitude like you're talking to children, and that is wrong. You can never be. There's something just wrong with that. But at the end of the day, let us try our best to get our act together as adults, as senior people in this country too. Don't let's be the ones to be always, having to have a big stick. Because that's what you're getting on with now. Like, you're dealing with children and ranks and not changing it, and all you better do this on too. Why you have to be talking to adults like that? Some of the adults look for that, and it's good for them, honestly. But that being said, I love you with every single thing inside of me, and the hugs and kisses, and
What is Richard? I have a good divorce.
Mind your business, Wendell. Mind your business.
Let me put you under a divorce lawyer because she just in the chat saying some man fine, Derek fine, and now she love you.
I
can't take that kind of hypocrisy and deception. No? Lord, no. I had enough of it.
Oh my word. Rich knows he is everything to me. He has all the traits and qualities I can ever want in someone.
Oh Lord. All right, okay. Bye, sweetheart. Have a good day.
You too, my love.
Hope I get out of the traffic soon.
Richard like a stamp, a stamp, you have to put that envelope. He like a stamp, You have to lick him to stick him.
But I hear Richard argument there about the law-abiding persons, and the majority of people are law-abiding persons, right? But laws are, while laws are made for everyone, but in practice, they are really meant to really restrain those persons who would break them while protecting those who already obey them. I think that's the purpose of having laws. The laws are not really, you don't make laws because the majority of people are law-abiding.
Slavery was a law, you know that, right?
What is that?
I said slavery was a law.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what people go start to get ticket for?
So the point I'm trying to make, Sir Charles.
Yeah,
sometimes there is bad law.
Yeah.
And sometimes law needs to be practical, and it depends on the type of society you want. Whether you want an empathetic society or you want a heartless society.
Yeah, but in
the mere idea the Prime Minister has to backtrack and say, okay, we have to give you a few days, means a lot of her supporters are giving pushback on the issues.
Why do people give pushback on the issues of stuff like that? Because they believe it's bad law. And it's affecting them. When people are personally affected in terms of their pockets, it becomes very much urgent to them. So law is always a balancing act about the people that you govern. And how do you put in place laws that keeps the discipline of the country without making it heartless? And it's a balancing act. But you can't just say that law is in place to take care of the lawless, and that generally all law is good, because not all law is good.
So I recognize what you're saying, that all law is not good, right? But I'm also looking at the fact that even the law-abiding citizens, you hear them complaining of what lawless people are doing. So,
But there are plenty. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I object to a lot of what those traffic offences are purporting to do in terms of the dramatic increase in fines. Because fines need to be relative to their people's ability to pay. Otherwise, what you're going to do, you're going to have the jail packed up with people who couldn't pay traffic fines.
That's like maintaining.
How does that make sense? How does that make sense? So you're going to cut up the court system, because if you can't pay, it's going to go into court, right? Because it has to. So you're going to cut up the court system because your fines are so exorbitant. People don't have the capacity to pay because the economy has been stagnant thanks to our governments who have ruled us within the last 15 to 20 years, including the PNM. We have not seen dramatic growth in our GDP. So we have
if you're saying 15 to 20 years, you don't have to say including the PNM, right? You know that, right?
Well, I can say whatever I want to say because I talk it. So,
I'm like Buffet. Well, let's see who does be Buffet now.
Yeah, all your thoughts right there. Call a good morning to you.
So I'm just saying,
hold on, right.
Has not been growing.
Yeah. Hold on, Ricky. Hold on. What I was trying to say there with the abandoned car is that food trucks, and I think it comes to the standard when Richard was talking about when you're bringing in parts, they have a business, you should have parts for it. When the trucks get abandoned and they park in there permanently, which they weren't supposed to, they're supposed to rotate morning shift, afternoon shift. There's a recognition now that people who are opening food trucks and starting, they have nowhere to park them. So they either you will park it in your community, block up the road if you don't have a parking space. So what they do is just parking permanently in the Orange Grove Savannah. And your vendor, and then you go by there, you see the tires, all kind of weed growing between them. But it's not supposed to. Ever since they started that using the car park, they're supposed to rotate. I remember in my community, we saw a truck abandoned there. We called the local police, and it was a businessman. He have a set of trucks parked up all over the Tunapuna, St. Augustine area. He's just going communities where he see an empty space and he just park up his thing. And when you start in your business, I don't know if there's a thing saying, where's your parking? Now, I think there's a solution for that. Local government could buy abandoned properties in the communities, open it up and allow people to park the cars there for a fee, because used car dealers, mechanics, all kind of business parking the business trucks in the parking space, Grand Bazaar, and then because they're using the communal space as their storage, as their parking, and as part of their business, legitimate business. And that is something local. I think is an easy thing because it's a fee. They could bring income. You could find an abandoned warehouse in Macoya, use it, allow people, mechanics to park their car, whoever have cars needing to park part of their business. So that's spilling out into the community, and that was the thing behind the thing. And I think you all should interview Dr. Ray Fulong I think he's a road engineer, and he has always spoken around traffic. And I think he has a lot. I think you all had interviewed him way back in time.
Yeah, I know
And I
Dr.
think he has a good knowledge of the this topic that we on. And yes, I just wanted to throw
No
that
problem.
in there.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Yeah. All right. So thank you for the
That
people,
way-
because we know that you will be leaving us at this point in time. While we finish up in the next few minutes, but thank you very much, guys, people, and we look forward to joining you all tomorrow morning.
The demerit point system wasn't the perfect solution, but guess what? It was probably a better solution than what we're trying here now, because we're going to just keep changing the system here now, because the Prime Minister recognized now that there are wicked and errant police officers and traffic wardens and so on. So she's saying fix it in 3 days. 3 days ain't gonna be enough for a lot of people. We're gonna change that to 10 days. 10 days still ain't gonna solve it for some people, and be going on and on and on. The better fear was of people losing the driver's permit, losing the ability to drive. You understand? As opposed to
that wasn't really a real deterrent to some people, because
no,
I know
but
some
it was still a system that was in place. That should have been kept. But
even that system, Wendell, could have been improved.
Yeah.
What would have been better is mandatory classes in terms of driver education for people who, once you reach a certain level of points, you have to mandatory go to some defensive driving or some driving course, that your presence is noted, and that you have to do some level of exam after that before you get back your license.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, your license is expired, taken away until you complete that course.
Suspended.
Yes, it's suspended, and you have to attend that course.
Yeah.
That would have been something like that makes more logical sense than just saying somebody's license because of the amount of demerit points is suspended, etc., etc. They get it back at some other point.
All right. Okay.
So I just don't know that. But on the good news part, I feel very Jillian John exudes a kind of energy that I find very attractive. She exudes a gung-ho kind of attitude in terms of getting things done that is attractive in terms of, I know right now I think she's in Beijing, in terms of furthering the government's, I assume, the revitalization plan. So that's one part of the government's plans that I'm interested to see how that materializes. Beyond all of the criticism that we give concerning the traffic fines and whatever else I find wrong. Whatever we find in terms of what we comment on. But that's certainly a positive thing to me in terms of her attitude in getting things done. Because a lot of times I always find things take too long to get done in this country, and we move at a snail's pace. Even the digitization of the country, we know when we have commented on that when it was Hasselbachers.
Yeah.
Hasselbachers was there for like nearly 5 years, and it's like it moved too slowly.
It didn't move.
Well, some things move because you could do your license online and stuff like that, but it moved too slowly. And if Trinidad and Tobago wants to be a global player, we have to learn to move faster. The rest of the world ain't waiting.
Richard, we keep putting some square pegs in round holes. We're doing it in local government. Dean very hopeful about local government. I'm not. I'm sorry. You understand? About local government acquiring lots and the local government, the time acquire garbage bags now sometimes. You understand?
Oh my word. Hold 1 minute there. Wendell, caller, good morning to you.
So, Charles, good morning. Wendell, Richard, good morning. So, I can't say what I have to say now because of time constraints. I didn't mind you all talking, but I was holding on for about 4 minutes. Anyway, I wanted to discuss the minister, Minister Eli. Sorry, I think it was Eli. And he was very disingenuous, one, because he said the reason for the increase was when they promised on the platform that they're going to cut the fines and this and that, lower the fines. When they reached in, they saw something else and they had no other choice. But what was going to be better? If that were the case, why didn't you all say, come to the public? Because remember, they put you all there to do certain things, what you all promised to do. Come to the public and say, well, the fines will have to go up or whatever have to go up. And we are going to implement this at such and such a date. But you all did not do that. Everything was effective immediately. So how could we believe you all when you all saying these things? I don't trust nothing. Everything he said
let me tell you something.
I did not believe.
Let me tell you something, Minister. Let me tell you something, Paula. Ministers are cool. In that press conference yesterday, all of a sudden they were made clear of the data. He mentioned data. Anytime I hear the word data in Trinidad and Tobago, my ears just perk up and say, oh, somebody talking data. And he said they weren't privy to the data before. And now that they're privy to the data, they have to carry up sacrifice. What amount of BS am I hearing? So that data was a secret? Data is not a secret in Trinidad and Tobago. It's not some classified national security document. It's traffic data. You can request that under FOIA request if they wanted to tell you, well, you have to make an FOIA request to get the data.
Yeah.
So when I heard that yesterday, I was like, what? What manner of spinning the top am I hearing on my television screen? I don't feel like being giddy. Let me go back to my movie.
Go ahead, Dabadi.
And too, what was wrong with what he said too? Oh, last year they collect 2025, they collected 5 million, and 2024 they collect 9 million. What 9 million of what? Is it 9 million of traffic fines for late driver's permit or whatever? You're not talking things that
which also let me interrupt you again.
Hold on, Dabadi. Hold on, we should interrupt you again.
Because that also didn't make sense to me. Because he was saying, and he was quoting the previous years, and it seemed to me, Dabadi, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, as if he was talking about people renewing their licenses late.
That's what I want to find out.
But prior to that, there was no fee for the increasing of your licenses. I mean, there was no increased fee for renewing your licenses. It was the same flat $500. So I'm like, when he's saying this statement, I'm like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
There was no penalty fee for renewing a license late prior to what we're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you talking about? I was confused.
Casualty number one.
And let me tell you something. He was, as I said, he was very disingenuous because those thousands of people who were there, they're making it feel as if they were there for just one thing. They did not renew, so they're rushing. People were there for thousands of whatever services they offer. Well, that's not thousands, But the thing is, I don't have to go there to drop in something for exemptions for the tint. And I refuse to go now because of the crowd. I went and I get my tint removed, part of it anyway, because not all had to be removed. And I waited for when the crowd goes down to go back to drop off that in a drop-off box set, but I refuse to go now, right? So this minister yesterday was not very credible to me. But I will have more to say on Charles' program because I was so upset. Everybody don't want to pussyfoot around and spinting like everybody dumb and dotish. I so fed up with them, So you all have a wonderful day.
You know what? Every year for the last how much ever years, my sister worked licensing office for 30-something years. Every beginning of the year, they have a surge at licensing office. That is a normal thing. So that is, it's not unusual to see a whole set of lines out on Wrighton Road or wherever for licensing purposes. That's not unusual. That's a normal thing.
Yeah. Getting back to I know we we close to ending off. The thing with
Well,
Jillian John,
overtime today.
the thing with Jillian John and the revitalization plan, which I know I'm in favor of, in terms of transforming the country, because I think it's always important that people see physical transformation evidence in front of them to be more and more invested in the country, which is what I think Prime Minister Manning understood too. Ethiopia, under their current Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, has gone into a transformation process so that the capital, Addis Ababa, has transformed over the last few years, has transformed dramatically. And they call Addis Ababa like the capital of Africa because that's where the African Union headquarters is. And under Dr. Ahmed, and he is very much aggressive about the transformation of Ethiopia for all Ethiopians. If you see the capital of Ethiopia now, and you could see concentrated efforts to transform it in a consistent way, sustainable way, buildings with gardens on rooftops and stuff like that, to make sure that the generations of the Ethiopians to come can benefit of a revitalized and new Ethiopia. And it's that kind of energy that I hope Jillian John has in taking that transformation process. So,
well, I hope she gets the support to do it. You understand? Because she clearly always had that kind of energy. You know what I mean? I hope she gets the support to do it. That's what is important. You understand? But I'm sure Captain Ron and Fifi and them would be happy to hear what you would have just said about Ethiopia. I am hoping, God willing, at some point in time before mid-year, that I'm able to confirm what you're saying there, because Ethiopia is on my bucket list. And I'm supposed I was invited in April, I think, this year. So I'll try to give you first-hand knowledge of what you just, first-hand evidence of what you just spoke about. God spare my life. You know?
All right, well, that's where you're going to leave it.
Some interesting comments. Thanks for you all. Scorpion Pepper, Mrs. R, Dean Allen. I didn't see old lady chatting for a little while. Anon, Beauty Culture, and all those who would have chatted in the last hours of our show. Thank you very much for keeping us on our toes. All right? Folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God.
So have a fantastic day, whatever you do. And of course, remember to smile and laugh because it's great for your health. Of course, New Era TT Radio continues on newerattradio.com and New Era TT Radio on TuneIn. So you can keep in for the excellent you can keep tuned for the excellent programming we have for the rest of the day. Of course, we speak to you bright and early tomorrow. Of course, the weekend begins tonight, people, at a second after midnight. Don't you forget it. And of course, we'll be here bright and early tomorrow morning, Friday. Friday is upon us, believe it or not.
Friday
already.
Already.
Next tomorrow, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Friday tomorrow. So we'll speak to you tomorrow. And of course, it's Friday. And you know we'll have a Friday on this program. So have a great day. And, whatever you do. And remember to smile. Despite all of it, it's good for you.
Wait, with all that old talk, we ain't hear about Sir Charles' outlawish behavior.
Lawlessness.
Lawless behavior. What am I saying? Lawless behavior.
Well, tomorrow's Friday and you'll have more time. Trust me.
Lawless behavior from Sir Charles. We ain't hear about it.
Yes. I was being very lawless.
The police raid his house 4 o'clock in the morning and
I'm not going to be after that experience. I have not been lawless ever since.
Is there any video of it?
No, thank God. But
somebody have video and they hold it until you right for it.
Yeah, when they feel they become a politician, there's just
let me tell you something. The same coconut man, apparently 5 years ago, he posted something on Facebook. People bring it back up and said, good for him. They said, good for him, he deserves all them tickets. People always have something to chat.
People
I'm
be
sure there's a
cool,
video
cool.
of you in handcuffs in your pajamas being dragged out of city.
Dragged out the house and being taken to court.
All
Alright,
right,
so
guys.
that is one of the features for tomorrow, okay?
All right.
All right, people. So, yeah, this has been
the breakfast.
But that's the name of the show tomorrow. Sir Charles Lawless.
Lawless and Charles. And
Lawless citizen, not law-abiding, eh? Lawless citizen.
Lawless.
So you can look forward to that story tomorrow, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't want to miss it.
They come in early.
Pajamas
and
and
I think about it, I look at it now and I just laugh at it all the time. But oh gosh, it wasn't easy.
I just had a laugh at my experiences too, yes? See what? All right. Bye-bye.
All right, so this...
Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on.